Letztes Erstrundenmatch des Happy Bet German Darts Grand Prix 2017. 21 Jahre ist er jung. Er hat beim World Cup of Darts die Farben von Deutschland vertreten. An der Seite von Max Hopp hat dort das Viertelfinale erreicht. Er spielt ohnehin bislang sein bestes Jahr auf dem PDC-Circuit. Ist inzwischen einer aus den Top 100 als Nummer 89 der Welt. Ladies and Gentlemen, aus Berlin, The Wall, Martin Schindler! Mehr als doppelt so alt wie Martin ist sein heutiger Gegner aus Irland, 44 Jahre alt. Er war vor 8, 9 Jahren schon mal richtig gut mit dabei bei der PDC, hat sich dann zurückgezogen und ist inzwischen wieder zurückgekommen und mischt regelmäßig auf dem PDC-Circuit mit. Auch ihn heißen wir natürlich herzlich willkommen, The Magnet McGowan!
Well, we've just seen a sparkling display from Kyle Anderson, the Australian, who's seen off Dirk van Dijvenbode 6-4. Can the final game of the opening night here at the Happy Bet German Darts Grand Prix match that? Well, it's down to Germany's number 2 and Ireland's Mick McGowan to try and do so. The Wall, Martin Schindler from Strasbourg, just 21 years old, carrying the hopes of the home nation crowd on his shoulders after defeats for Max Hopp, Bernd Royth and Michael Hertz, the other 3 Germans who came through the host nation qualifier last night. Can he make it through to round 2 just as he did last time out in the Dutch Darts Masters? In fact, he made it through to round 2 and then went a stage further, seeing off the seeded player Gerwyn Price. He made the quarter-finals in Austria. Martin Schindler is making a habit of winning games against some big-name players. He's turning in to quite the little dart player, is The Wall. But Mick McGowan, huge experience, no little skill. The Magnet versus The Wall in the final game of the night. Chris Murphy alongside me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box for it.
Yeah, I was listening with interest last weekend down when Mervyn King joined you in the commentary box.
Game on.
And Mervyn said that he felt that Martin Schindler had the credentials to very soon be the best darts player in Germany. Well, can he be the only darts player from Germany to still be in this competition tomorrow?
Well, he's 89 in the world rankings right now, but he only picked up his tour card at the start of this year. And then the order of merit is based upon what you earn over 2 years.
95.
So Martin Schindler, if he has another year next year, like he's had this year, you know, he's going to move up to round about close to that top 64, where it's on about retaining your tour card. But he'll be hoping to get into some of the big events. Obviously, you know, he'll be targeting a place at the World Championship, obviously the European Championship. He's well placed in the race for Hasselt and the European Championship.
And if he does win this, he'll be taking on
85.
the best German-speaking darts player in Mensur Suljovic. The Austrian ace, a winner on the European Tour. Look at this from Martin Schindler.
140.
Has converted recently, hasn't he, to these needle points. And I know that Paul Nicholson was saying earlier that he's not quite sure if they're the right choice
26.
for Martin Schindler. But he's persevering.
And he says it's about reducing bounce outs, Martin Schindler.
If he's going to replace them with fallouts. But they look pretty firm today. Look pretty good as well.
Oh,
161.
my word. What a setup shot that is. Treble 20, bull, treble 17 to leave double 12.
105.
Majestic
Martin Uruguay, 24.
from Martin Schindler.
He shows in the first
And he's
leg.
got no problem with the
Martin
double 12
Schindler.
either.
Second leg, Martin to throw first. Game on.
Immediate break. And he's sampling a very different atmosphere to the one that Max Hopp played in front of earlier on, the start of this afternoon session when he lost out to Jamie Corbin. And he's turning on the style.
Well, watching the evolution of
44.
Martin Schindler as a dart player during the course of the European Tour has been fascinating. He was a steward. He was on the doors. And now he's on the 9!
Incredible back-to-back maximums from the wall. Martin Schindler
39.
leaves 1
Martin
4
Uruguay,
1 and the prospect
141.
of the perfect leg.
But it was just that, a prospect, and little more.
Did you even dare to dream, Dan?
105.
I entertained the notion for a flickering moment before then realising that the last time we saw a 9-darter on the European Tour was in 2013. Ross Smith. The curse of Ross Smith. But a 10-darter's as good as you'll get on the Euro Tour nowadays.
$27.
And even the 12-darter eludes him. And Mick McGowan may not be out of this just yet, you know.
But before these 2 minutes, there was a 75-point disparity in the averages in this match.
59. Martin Uruguay, 9.
That's gonna, he was on the 9, now he wants 9.
Well, very real danger of Martin Schindler being in the madhouse there before Mick McGowan's even down to a finish. But there is a very real danger for Martin Schindler that he loses this leg after 6 perfect darts and being 75 points clear in the averages at one
80.
stage. Yeah, he could see his own average drop by about 75 points if he continues to miss the double. So he's to settle himself down. The madhouse to end a mad leg.
No score.
Well, they were singing Martin Schindler's name about 30 seconds ago, and now they seem to be making life as difficult as possible for the young man.
He shows in the
Well, he
second
won
leg.
at 44,
Mick McGowan.
in fact, Mick McGowan, it would appear.
Third leg, Mick
Scoreboard
to
error there,
throw
but
first.
44 needed,
Game.
44 taken out. And Martin Schindler has lost the leg in a rather ridiculous manner.
$32.
Now we're back to singing his name. He's become the plucky underdog once more. Not the 9-dart threatening titan of European darts that he was barely a minute and a half ago.
100.
And the average gap was reduced to 25 points.
More importantly, there's no gap in the legs.
Certainly is the most important thing. McGowan
85.
just plodding on amongst the madness.
Martin Schindler and Max
100.
Hopp made quite a formidable pairing at the World Cup of Darts earlier on this year, making it to the quarter-finals and producing some really good stuff between the pair of them. As McGowan produces some good stuff himself, and as he finally just woken up in this one, he plodded to that second leg. It might not matter if he's woken up. Oof.
125.
But yeah, we've seen Martin Schindler in singles play this year on the European Tour just illustrate what he can be about. We saw a fantastic display from him earlier this year
58.
against the Diamond Ian White, if I recall correctly, where he was averaging over 100 for most of the game. It just dropped below that by the end of the match. Oh, look at this. Very, very good. It's another marvellous setup shot from Martin Schindler.
Yeah, and in that World Cup, he did put Michael van Gerwen under some pressure in his singles match, didn't he? He ended up losing 4-2.
94.
2-0 up, I believe, and he had a chance for 3-0, which might well have swung the game in his favour.
But all the learning curve for Martin Schindler. Another brick in the wall, if you will. And another dart in the double.
Game on.
Well, there are certain things you look for in young players to indicate that they are maturing, and we all know you only have to look at the development
60.
tour and some of the legs of darts thrown there. A lot of the young players can throw incredible stuff. You know, you see 9 darters and all sorts. Martin Schindler produced a fantastic first half of a leg in the last leg,
54.
and he ends up with the disappointment of throwing it away, missing all kinds of darts at double. Mick McGowan nicks it, but what does he do? Fires straight back with a 13 darter. And that, I think that's probably indicative of his state of mind right now, in that he believes that the next leg's always going to be a good one. And that's how you've got to go into games, that's how you've got to approach them. You can't be worried that the form's not there or it's all going to go horribly wrong, because inevitably it will. The first dart's looking very good for Martin Schindler tonight. Second and third haven't been that bad as a rule.
Yeah, and what he's done, Martin Schindler, is given himself the opportunity to play an awful lot of darts this year, having come through Q School and earning his place on the Pro Tour, which may well have turned out to be a simpler task. If he'd done it next year, he went the hard route. German player to come through the Q School, compromising player from all nations. But he also plays on the development tour and often qualifies for these European Tour events.
21.
And when he gets here,
36.
he ain't just here to make up the numbers. The number he wants is 36. But he decided to split the 18, which is fairly mature, with McGowan not on a finish, but he's ended up leaving 6.
Yeah. And you wonder whether he was looking at the 10, but 177 from Mick McGowan. It's the Irishman's turn to produce a spectacular setup shot. Now, does Schindler go 2-2-2? No, he doesn't. And this is the problem. 1-1. Again.
He just got himself into a little bit of trouble at the back end of this leg. And McGowan to break. 5-5.
Full flag, Mick McGowan.
Well, we have a pattern established in this game, don't we? Where Martin Schindler, on McGowan's throw, will batter him all over the oche. On his own throw, he will batter McGowan all over the oche and then mess it up at the end.
And McGowan is simply just floating around like a butterfly and stinging like a bee when the opportunity arises.
100.
Oh, a curious game. Mick McGowan, 2 out of 3 on his doubles, averaging 83. Martin Schindler averaging 96. Hitting only 15%, and it is no exaggeration to say Martin Schindler could be averaging in the 110s right now if he was finishing anything like.
60.
If he was finishing like Mick McGowan, he would be.
Yeah, well, quite. But it's all stemmed from double 18, hasn't it? And that is a problem double. It has been for a few players, but Mick McGowan has now gone 3 consecutive legs with either a 180 or a 177.
$42.
And this looks like it could be a first hold of throw in this game. McGowan's turn to leave the double 18.
Mickey requires 36.
Well, somehow Mick McGowan leads this match 3-2.
Row first. Game on.
Well, let's see what Martin Schindler's temperament is like, because it is a match that you will feel should be at least 4-1.
100.
Final match, of course, of the first round. All the seeds, apart from Mensa Suljevic, are aware of their opponents tomorrow. What takes your fancy, Dan, from tomorrow's menu?
Well,
34.
having seen Kyle Anderson average a ton there, having thrown 3 ton plus averages last weekend, having won in Auckland, having won his first Pro Tour event before that, I
69.
am desperate to see him go toe-to-toe with Kim Huybrechts, who often reserves his best for these European stages. I think it could be an absolute belter.
95.
That Northwestern clash between Dave Chisnell and Nathan Aspinall, I think we could see 180s a go-go in that one.
That's Dan Dawson's Saturday special.
60.
Quite like the look of Ratajski Gerwin Price myself.
Yeah. All looks very tasty.
53.
53 leaves 1, 2, 4. Mick McGowan needing a ton 40. Ton 80 would leave him a 2-darter. Oh, Mick. The Magnets!
180. Martin McGowan, 124.
1-2-4. Needs just one treble. 54 for 50, which means bullseye to level. Oh, what a shot, sublime from Schindler.
Martin Schindler.
At times it's been ridiculous, but that was superb.
Mick to throw first.
Well, the 18s haven't worked for him, the 9s haven't worked for him. He struggled on the 6s and the 4s and the 2s, but the bullseye comes good for Martin Schindler.
99.
And we've got a level game, and the crowd find their voice again. And Martin Schindler, we've mentioned his campaign at Q School where he won his tour card. I was there on the final day and watched a couple of his matches, and he was playing just like this, except with fewer messing about on the doubles in the couple of legs that we've seen him lose here to Mick McGowan. He was taking out big shots, bullseye finishes, firing in ton 40s and ton 80s, but Mick McGowan, look, he's gone 180, 177, 180, 180, 180 in the last 5 legs. He's having a perfect visit once per leg.
Yeah, it's 4 180s now for Mick McGowan. He really has upped his game.
74.
A couple of his early legs were gift-wrapped by Martin Schindler, but McGowan himself now averaging mid-90s.
Not quite that 75-point difference we saw at leg 2, is there?
60. Mickey McGowan, 148.
Might be about 0.75.
Oh. Mick, the Mensor.
134.
Now, is it Mick McGowan's turn to have some awkward doubles to mess about on and potentially lose a leg that he was bossing? He's being asked the question by Martin Schindler.
Yeah, Schindler's done his bit. Straight for it. Too low. Well, he's got all 3 darts at the double. And he's landed it. And a wry smile and a wink.
Martin to
From Mick McGowan.
First.
Edges ahead again.
Fantastic dart, I've got to say. Mick McGowan, that last one into the double 7, it looked tricky. It was tricky.
57.
And a tricky situation, but safely negotiated by the Magnet. And he's only 2 legs away from a spot in round 2. We've not seen
140.
Mickey play that much on the European Tour. In fact, the German Darts Championship at the start of the year was his only other appearance. We will see him in the next one. He's qualified for that.
94.
It's taken him a while to warm into this contest, but he is red hot right now.
For the 6th leg running, Mick McGowan has a perfect visit. A perfect scoring visit, I should say. Needed a perfect visit there, Martin Schindler, to leave a finish.
100.
And he is now hoping that McGowan starts missing.
He ain't missing yet. Not missing at all. Not missing a thing.
135.
And if Martin Schindler does find himself 5-3 down in 30 seconds or so, he must be wondering, how on earth did this happen?
Well, this is kind of... He's got to stay there, hasn't he? 195, so 25 would leave 170.
80.
Yeah.
Mickey record 46.
So he's at least got himself to a finish. But it might not matter. Because that's a 12-dart leg for Mick McGowan, who, quite frankly, can consider himself fortunate not to have been 4-0 down in this game. But such has been the comeback from Mick McGowan that he is not only blowing Martin Schindler away, he is dismantling the set here in Mannheim.
Silence the crowd.
93.
I don't know if you noticed a couple of legs ago, Mick McGowan, when he hit that 7-7, he kind of, wasn't a single person cheering, but he sort of still half celebrated and quickly put his hand down. They'll be cheering after this visit.
140.
Oh, it was more of an ooh. But Schindler still in contention by virtue of that 140.
140.
Battered back by Mick McGowan.
Well, it's been a fantastic game to round off the night. Is there one twist in the tail left?
Yeah, 8 maximums in this one.
Down to the finish, Mick McGowan. 140, and he went 60 last dart, which got him to a finish, but he could have left 168.
Yeah, needs 2 treble 19s to leave 170 here, Schindler. He's done that.
133. Mickey record 100.
Last time he left, it didn't get a shot. Will this time. And this game deserves this finish.
78.
It does. It really does. Can the wall deliver it? 2 treble 20s and bull. It's the only way you can go. But it's not going to happen for Martin Schindler. And Mick McGowan, he's hitting 50% of his doubles. He should get 2 darts for the match. The stats say he wins it here. But the stats are wrong.
Martin, you require 70.
Schindler to keep his hopes alive, to keep their hopes alive.
To keep the hopes of German players alive. The 3 before have all fallen by the wayside. Martin Schindler to live, to fight at least another leg. Double 16's the target.
38.
And it is agonizingly missed.
You require 40.
It was about the width of Martin Schindler's point, and that is not very wide. But in the end, it's an unhappy day for the home nation qualifiers. Martin Schindler, he was on a 9-darter early in the match, but had double trouble. Got himself into a little bit of a mess earlier on, and Mick McGowan raised his game and got better as the match went on. The Irishman is through to the second round and will take on Menzo Suljovic tomorrow. There's some fantastic games tomorrow. We see all the seeds join the action, the likes of Peter Wright, Simon Whitlock, Michael Smith, Daryl Gurney, and of course the world #1 Michael van Gerwen. 2 sessions of second round action. Join us for that. We'll end today by hearing from our last winner, Mick McGowan.
For you with this match against Martin and the crowd, right?
Yeah, of course, yeah. And you know, you expect that with home support. To be fair, I think it actually played worse on Martin than it did on me in the end, you know. And look, I've known that from the past. I played in City West and I know how that sort of thing goes. But hey, you know, thank you.
Menzo Suljovic is waiting. He's the next one.
Yeah, look, Menz is a top-class player these days, and I'm going to have to play an awful lot sharper than I did. No disrespect to Martin there, but I'm going to play a little more sharper tomorrow. But I'll be ready for the game, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that as well. Thank you very much. McGowan, der einzige Ire hier in Mannheim.